Chapter 1. A Trattoria affair. Steffany had always been a romantic, or at least she thought she was. She had bought into the dream of love, the kind that sweeps you off your feet, the kind that makes your heart race and your world spin. She believed in the stories of grand gestures, of flowers and candlelit dinners. But tonight, sitting alone at her favourite trattoria, she wasn't so sure. Max was supposed to be there with her. They had made plans, but those plans had unravelled that afternoon in a whirlwind of frustration and raised voices. Steffany wasn't sure how it had escalated so quickly. All she knew was that Max had left, the door closing with a hard finality, and she was left standing in the middle of her living room, feeling as though something fundamental had broken between them. Instead of staying home, she decided to go out anyway. She wasn't going to let a ruined afternoon become a ruined evening. She had chosen this trattoria for a reason. Its warmth, its rustic charm, the way it made her feel like she was a part of something timeless. And if she was honest, she needed that comfort right now. The waiter approached her table, a knowing smile on his face. "Dining alone tonight, miss?" he asked gently, his tone free of judgment. "Yes, just me," Steffany said, her lips curving into a small, almost apologetic smile. He nodded, not asking any more questions, and returned moments later with a dish she hadn't tried before. Crispy, chewy pasta served warm with a bowl of creamy dip beside it. He set it down in front of her, giving her a wink. "I think you'll like this one." Steffany looked at the plate, her curiosity piqued. The pasta was golden brown, each small piece slightly curled and glistening under the warm glow of the candlelight. She picked up a piece, feeling its warmth seep into her fingers. Carefully, she dipped it into the creamy sauce, watching as it coated the noodle perfectly. She brought the bite to her lips and closed her eyes as she tasted it. The crispness of the pasta gave way to a soft, chewy centre, and the rich creaminess of the dip enveloped her tongue in warmth. She sighed, a smile forming as the flavours melded together. It was perfect. It was better than perfect. It was exactly what she needed. With every bite, she felt something inside her soften, the tension she had carried all day slowly dissipating. She wasn't thinking about Max, or the argument, or the disappointment that had knotted itself in her chest. All she could focus on was the warmth of the pasta, the way it made her feel whole in a way she hadn't realised she needed. The world around her seemed to fade into the background, the clatter of plates and murmur of conversation melting away, until there was nothing but her and this small, beautiful dish. She dipped another piece, watching as the creamy sauce clung to it like a lover refusing to let go. A warmth spread through her chest, and for the first time that day, she felt truly content. She had always thought she needed someone else to make her feel this way, needed the perfect date, the perfect partner. But as she sat there savouring every bite, she realised that maybe she had been wrong. The pasta was warm, comforting, and fulfilling in a way no person had ever been. It asked nothing of her, demanded nothing, and yet it gave her everything she needed. There was no pressure, no expectations, no misunderstandings. Just simple, honest satisfaction. The waiter passed by her table, glancing at her emptying plate. "Good, isn't it?" he asked with a smile. Steffany looked up, her eyes soft and a little dreamy. She nodded. "More than good," she said, her voice sincere. "It's perfect." He chuckled, nodding knowingly. "It's always the pasta," he said, before moving on to the next table. Steffany smiled to herself, her heart feeling light for the first time that day. Maybe it was always the pasta. Maybe the love she had been searching for wasn't in romantic gestures or the perfect partner. Maybe it was in the warmth of a simple dish, something that made her feel whole and happy without demanding anything in return. She dipped another piece of pasta, savouring the way the creamy sauce embraced it, the way the flavours came together in a perfect harmony. As she took another bite, she knew one thing for certain. Tonight, this was enough. This was exactly what she needed. She didn't need Max. She didn't need a grand romance or a sweeping gesture. She needed warmth. She needed comfort. She needed the simple, fulfilling love of a dish that knew her better than anyone else ever could. And that was enough.